we are on the phone with Phil, and we are going to talk about his experience running or owning a jump center. Tell us quickly, what state were you located in?
We were in Michigan.
All right. And what year did you open up in?
We opened the indoor center in 2006.
All right. And you've run it for what, a couple years, right? How long have you been in business for?
We were in business for about 3 years.
All right. And how big was your facility?
Our facility was about 4,000 square feet. I think it came out to about 4,400 square feet.
Okay. All right. How big was I know you were actually in a pretty small town, though, right?
Yeah, we're in a small town. We were in a small town called Alpena, Michigan, and in the city there were about 11,000 people. The county had about 30,000 people.
Okay. And so the business was pretty good, though? Were you staying busy, and how was all that working out for you?
Yeah, we had a good business going. Obviously, in Michigan, not a lot to do in the wintertime with kids, so it was really a hit for the 3 years we were open. Obviously, busier in the wintertime than in the summertime, but yeah, it was. We had lots of traffic, a lot of birthday parties, and people are always looking for stuff to do with their kids. This was a big attraction in town.
Okay. What did you do for the summertime? Did you find any ways to supplement the income since the traffic was a little lower, or?
Yeah, we reduced our hours a little bit in the summertime, but then we also took our units, our inflatables we did outdoor rentals as well. So we had a pretty good, I think we always had 4 big units in our indoor center, as well as a very small kid slide. And then we had another 4 or 5 units that we would rotate in and use for outdoor rentals in the summertime. So.
All right, so you had about 8 units or so, because you said you were renting out about half of them?
Yeah, I would say we probably had about 10 units. 4 or 5 houses, a slide, obstacle course, a couple of big slides that we couldn't have in the indoor center because they were so big. But
okay, all right. Well, it was always, I'm sure, a great idea to have a backup, especially since you're renting out the equipment also, and you can rearrange stuff and kind of give your center a fresh look. Did you ever switch out and rotate the inflatables?
We did. We rotated them about every 6 months, and that was a big one because if the kids come in every time and it's always the same thing, there's not quite as much of a draw. So we would try I would say every 4 to 6 months we would rotate in new units.
Okay. And your facility, how was your facility set up? Was it basically one big jump room and separate cake rooms, or?
Yes, we had one big central area that was, the bounce area, I guess you would call it, and we had all of our units set up there. And then we had a side room that was probably, I would say, probably 30 feet by about 20 feet, probably 500 or 600 square feet, where all the tables were set up and for the birthday parties.
Okay. All right. And then going back to the jump room or the bounce arena, how tall were your ceilings? Do you remember?
Ceilings there were 16 feet.
Okay, all right, so pretty good height. And let's see, we've just covered how many jump rooms and cake rooms you had. What did you use for the flooring in your facility?
The floor of the area was carpeted, and then we had the foam matting that you can buy, 1-inch foam matting that comes in the little squares that we put underneath, or that we laid out around all the inflatables. So, a big one. It was our jump area was carpet on top of concrete, not a lot of padding, so we definitely needed to have something with a little more padding as the kids came out of the inflatables. So.
All right. And did you run any issues with with carpeting? I guess as long as you don't allow food and drink in the arena, you shouldn't have big problems.
We really didn't. Of course, you're always going to get the occasional spill. You really can't avoid that. But we kept it to a minimum, had pretty stern rules about food and drink out in the bounce area. We did allow the kids to have a water bottle there, but it was, we sold the 20-ounce plastic water bottles, and so they could, that stayed relatively clean. If somebody spilled water, it wasn't a big deal, but we didn't want to deal with, soft drinks on the floor or food or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, water will just dry up. All right. What about, okay, let's talk about the startup a little bit. How did you finance or fund your business?